Good morning, everybody. Today we're looking at how we can read like a writer. Now, we've always read for pleasure. We love our reading and we love our writing. Now we need to put our writer's hat on while we're reading. So rule number one, of course, is to read good writers. Read the writers that you love and then have a look and dissect what they're doing to see if you can use anything in your own writing. Now, there are some really good ways of doing this. You can just sit in a chair and put your feet up and read, but chances are you won't remember much of what you're seeing. Okay, now the Paris Reviews actually have Paris Review of Books has some great interviews with writers, and they take you through some of their work and how they write, and that's always a good place to start. Austin Kleon has this wonderful book called Steal Like an Artist, and he does a lot of illustrations, and he's got some great quotes for some great artists. And they say the best artists steal. The amateur pretends he can do it all on his own, but all our ideas start somewhere and they come from somewhere else. So what I want you to do today, after you've done your writing, of course, is I want you to go over to your bookshelf, and you have got bookshelves, I hope, and you pull down some of your favourite authors, and you have a really, really good look at how their words look on the page. So you take a double page, you open up your book, and you have a look at how they write them. I just had on the podcast this morning a beautiful Claire Connolly, and she writes romance novels. Now, this woman is prolific. She makes a very, very good living of both indie publishing and traditional publishing now with Harlequin Mills and Boon. And way back when I used to write romance novels, and we're talking far too long ago, I used to get a book and I would have a look at how it sets out on the page. Now, there's no big chunks of text on this page. There are very few dialogue tags, and I hope this page is clean. I haven't even checked what one it is. And clearly it is fast-paced because that sets the tone for the kind of novel that it is. If you pull Jane Austen off your shelf, which I have over there, my very favourite writer in the whole world, you're going to find her writing a lot more slow, but still very, very, I guess, well set out on the page. And if you really dissect Jane Austen's writing, you can't go too far wrong. She was a woman of wit and she was a woman of manners, and she captured that on the page really, really well. And I always tell my students, if you're interested in writing, to go back and study the greats. I've got some wonderful books here, and it's Read Like a Writer, and most of them tell you to, I'm just trying to reach it here. Okay, this is that one that I've shown you several times now, The Art of X-Ray Reading. How the secrets of 25 great works of literature will improve your writing. Now, this book is written by, where's his name? It's written by a guy who, there he is, I've got my finger over him, that's why I can't find him, Roy Peter Clark. He's been teaching creative writing for many, many years, and he takes us through some of the classics, and he will get us to read a paragraph in minute detail, then write 2 pages about it. So that's really interesting because word by word in every sentence, in every paragraph matters. The order in which it's written matters, the description, the emphasis, the commas, everything. You know you're finished if you write a good paragraph and then take the commas out again. I want you to sit down and do that just for the exercise of seeing what it's like. Keep pushing on with your own writing. Keep getting those words on the page. Remember, we're only talking first drafts here. But while you're writing, it's really, really important to read. And if you do read bad books, make sure you note down why they're bad. Make sure you note down what you don't like. Is it sloppy pacing? Is the point of view annoying you? Does it take too long to get to the exciting bits? Are there big chunks of text that you skip over? Quite often I find myself skipping all the big bits because it's slow and it's tedious for me to get through. So we all have our personal preferences, but remember there are some great writers out there, and it's okay to go and really study them in minute detail. Get yourself a reading journal. When we do our deep reading courses, we always encourage our students to have a reading journal there beside them. So you said that you can reflect and you can think and you can have an idea of what it is that inspires you to be the best you can be. Because in our 30-day 30 Days to Better Writing Habits, we're interested in getting you to get your words on the page so that you can fix them and be the best writer you can be. The last thing we want you to do is churn out your words and say, right, I'm finished, I'm going on with the next one. There are a lot of skills involved. We've got our voices in your head. We've got our editor sitting on our shoulders waiting to jump in. We just don't want him to do that yet. So when you're not writing, make sure you read. It's a wonder we have any time for any of this stuff, isn't it? Okay, talk to you tomorrow.